If you're ready, say I'm ready.
I'm ready.
One person said I'm ready.
Ready.
If you're ready, say I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
We're ready.
All right, fantastic. So, welcome. Tonight's a really special session for us because this is a session that Jim Rohn took me and Roger through exactly 8 years ago at our second event in Extravaganza. We qualified for a really unique leadership event. It was 2 days with Jim Rohn in Sentosa Island before a real big major event with Herbalife. And he took us through this incredible goal-setting workshop, and we spent a amazing time with him. And it totally changed our life, and I've never forgotten the way he's done this goal-setting workshop. And one of the things he says to us is everything that we learn, we teach. So I'm going to do my best now to sort of take you through what Jim Rohn took us through. It's definitely not the same amount of information. It's going to take a lot more time, but whatever we don't get through tonight, you're going to be able to elaborate on at home. And it's really important to understand that setting goals is what's going to move your business forward. It's what's going to make you grow in life. Without goals, you have no direction. You're not you can be trying to aim for something, but you may never be happy because you may never know when you've hit what it is that you're after when you haven't set yourself a goal. Like we can say, okay, I want to go from here to Sydney, and just get in the car and drive and not know which direction you're going at all and just hoping that you're going to bump into Sydney. Whereas if you know, okay, I want to go to Sydney, which way I want to go, do I want to fly, do I want to drive, do I want to catch a bus, how much, what amount of time do I want to get there? So there'll be clear paths when you're really clear on what what you want and what time frame you want to get there in. Okay, so let's get started. So we'll skip that.
And we download this ourselves?
There are some little downloads at the end. And there was an audio that we were going to show, but definitely we can get that little audio section out to everybody from Jim Rohn. We can share that around as well, no problem, definitely. So, really important is quite often in life we constantly put ourselves down, and we're constantly really not acknowledging ourselves for the things that we have already achieved. So that's really important, to give yourself some acknowledgement for what you've achieved in the past, and then be able to move forward in your life. So right now, write down this question: what are the 5 things that you have accomplished that you are proud of in your life up until this point? And start writing them down. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to do that. So everybody should be writing and not looking at me. Anything. It can be like you've graduated from university, you've got married, you've got a job. Whatever it is for you that you feel like you've accomplished, you put that down. 5 things in your life. It could be having a family. Whatever it is for you. Of course, there's lots of different age groups in the room today. Yeah, so at different points of your life, you're going to have gone through different things. So just think back, what are some of the things that you've achieved, and write them down. Have you won an award for something? Have you been recognised in your community for giving back? Have you done something outstanding in your job? Done something special with your family? What have you accomplished already? Who's got 5 things already? Wow, you've done this before, Tizzy. No, that's amazing. Well done. You've got your 5. Amel, you've got your 5. Well done.
The last one was hard.
Yeah, 5. You've got your 5. Fantastic. Betul, how are you going? 4. Well done. on, guys. You all need to be focusing on your own accomplishments. So no talking. Ahlam. Yeah. Okay. So you've written down that question. If you haven't got your 5, you can elaborate at home. Okay. But definitely, you can definitely sit and down and think of 5 things that you've accomplished, whether it was, opening your own business, whatever it is for you at whatever time in your life that you've achieved. Now, this section is very important, okay? I want you on the one side of your page to start writing the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like the numbers, up to number 50 under each other on the side of your page. And I want you to write down what you want to achieve in the next 10 years. And list one item under the other. Okay? It's not what you think that you can achieve. It's not what you think is realistic that you can achieve. It's what is it that you personally want to achieve in your life? What is it that you want? Your wildest dreams, wildest imagination, just put it down. Just put down the word. You don't have to write too much, just even if it's a word or two. And list one under the other. So start now.
So it's like a bucket list, Ellie.
Yep. I want 50 goals, 50 things that you want to achieve in the next 10 years. Some people are smiling, laughing, are in shock. It's interesting, isn't it, when you have to put it on paper?
Well, we'll probably do the dream.
So it can be things that, that you want to achieve soon, in a few years' time, 10 years' time. Don't look at me, pop your heads down and start writing. So think about this. Where do you want to travel? Is there some countries that you want to travel to? Is there some unique cities that you'd like to visit? Have you been to America? Have you been throughout Asia? Do you want to go to Europe? Paris maybe? Maybe that's on your goals list. So one under the other. What would you like to buy? Is there a unique car that you would like to buy?
Not cars.
Cars, there you go. Pop down all the cars that you want. Now you're beginning to dream a little bit better. How many houses would you like?
Every house in
Melbourne. Every house in Melbourne, why not? Dream big. A house in the mountains, a house by the beachside maybe. An apartment in the city, penthouse in the city, a building. I like that, Michael. Dream big. Very good. What is it that you'd like to do with your family? Do you want to go somewhere special with your family? Do something for your children? What kind of education do you want to be able to give to your children if you have children? What would you like to do for your community, for your church, for your mosque, for your temple? Is there something spiritual that you'd like to achieve? So remember, one under the other. And when me and Roger did this with Jim Rowan, we did this exact same exercise, and we'd never done goals before. Never in our whole life had we sat down like this and listed 50 goals. But it's amazing what happens when you just simply think about what you want. Your brain only understands it so much, but when you start really thinking about it, you're putting it on paper, you start visualizing it a little bit more. Your brain takes it on board a little bit differently, and it starts pulling you towards these goals. And one of the goals that me and Roger had at that time, we'd just pretty much been married for maybe 2-3 years at the time when we did this goal session. And one of our goals, we both had the same goal on the list, and it was not even planned because we weren't even allowed to look at the neighbour or talk or anything. So Jim Rowan was very, very, very strict with doing this goal setting, but very fun as well. One of our goals was when we got married, we wanted to take a Caribbean cruise and go island hopping around the Caribbean, but we just financially we couldn't do it. It was amazing when Jim Rowan made us do this goal setting workshop. On both our lists, after when we reviewed our list, we both had written down we wanted to go on a Caribbean cruise because we both wanted it. And you'd never ever believe, it's amazing, that same weekend at the extravaganza, guess what was announced for the vacation?
Caribbean cruise.
Caribbean cruise. Absolutely. It's amazing how the universe works when you put it out there and you really, visualize it, put it on paper. When you really, really, really want something bad enough, believe me, and you start taking action, it's amazing what the universe will deliver. And guess what? 12 months later, me and Roger were on a Caribbean cruise, fully paid for. It was incredible. That was our very, very first vacation that was fully paid for with Herbalife. It was a dream come true for us. And there's many, many more things that we've put on that list that we've been able to tick off. The same thing can happen for you if you really take this seriously. Don't think that, I can't achieve that, so I won't put it down. Just put it down. You'll be amazed. Maybe in 3 months, 6 months, 1 year from now, you'll pull out this goals sheet again. By the way, you want to constantly be adding goals onto this sheet. And you're constantly going to be changing your goals. But what you'll find is when you start really looking back at what you've achieved and start ticking things off, you'll be amazed at how much you're going to be able to tick off from that list. Providing that you're obviously taking action and doing work. So how are we going?
Stuck at 24.
Stuck at 24? You got 24, well done. That's fantastic. Keep going. Really good. Is there some health goals that you'd like to achieve?
Yes, they put more weight, use more product.
Is there some career goals that you want to achieve? What levels do you want to get to in Herbalife? Who would you like to join you in your business in Herbalife? Put it down.
What's the top level? President. Is that president?
Founders Circle.
What's the red badge?
Global Expansion
That's
Team.
what my son wants me to get.
Put it down.
He loves the red one.
How many have you got, Berna? So far. Fantastic. Keep going. Michael? Well done. Tony? Good. Awesome. Zainab?
I've got 15.
15. Very good. Keep going. Is there some skills that you'd like to acquire? Is there something that you're afraid to do now, maybe like public speaking, that you want to get better at? That could be one of your goals. Is there something you'd like to do for your brother, your sister, your parents? Would you like to learn another language? Would you like to parachute out of an aeroplane?
I just wrote that.
Amazing what happens when you think about it and put it down. You see? There you go. Would you like to go skiing somewhere? Would you like to meet the president one day? The president of the United States. Would you like to meet the Queen?
I'd like to be president.
You'd like to be the president? Wow, I like that goal. Big thinker, big dreamer, well done.
President team or president? Not president. Wow. Okay.
You will be the president of your organisation.
President
Not
team
all
gets
about
an
the money.
Okay. Controlling the
How much money would you like to earn? Put a figure down. Someone said money? Pop your figure down. How much would you like to be earning? Would you like to earn $1 million in a month?
I'll put 20,000.
How many have you got down, Linda?
10.
10. That's good. Keep going. Well done.
Does the county
Would you like to go to Niagara Falls?
already put that? Does the county start earning more than my husband?
You put down whatever it is that you want. There's no right, there's no wrong. You don't need to show these goals to anybody. These are your own personal goals. Jim Rohn also said you can put it in code. As long as you know what the code is and what it means, no problem. Would you like to open a Casa Herbalife somewhere?
I don't want to be too green.
Would you like to help the underprivileged children? You wrote that as well?
That's
Wow.
a foundation, isn't it?
Herbalife Family Foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you like to get married? The single people in the room. Would you like to have children one day? Would you like to learn to swim, ride a bike?
I don't even know how to swim.
What would you dare to do if you knew you could not fail?
Oh yeah. I entered a competition.
Put it down. Who would you like to spend more time with? Who would you like to buy a house for? Would you like to fly first class everywhere?
Yes.
So think about spiritual, what you'd like to achieve, financially, what you'd like to achieve, physically, what you'd like to achieve, emotionally, what you'd like to achieve. So don't think too much about it, just whatever comes to mind, write it down. How many now, Zainab?
19.
Good. Michael, how many now?
Same.
Good, awesome. There you go. Almost halfway there. Only halfway to go.
Got some more to go.
Keep going. There's a few more minutes on this, and then you can take it away and then continue it.
So if it's hard to write it, how harder is it going to be to do it?
It's not going to be hard. If you tell yourself, remember, whatever you tell yourself and whatever you tell yourself consistently is what you're going to believe, is what you're going to attract. Okay, so if you tell yourself, oh, it's hard, hard to write it, hard to do, then guess what? You've already said it. It's going to be hard. You're going to make it hard for yourself. You're going to attract everything to be hard. So let's start changing the way we think. Let's start saying, why not? Why can't we? Let's do it. I can do it. I will complete it. Others have, I can. They can, I can.
Big ring.
Think about the founder of Herbalife, Mark Hughes. Young teenage guy, no high school education. His mother passed away. He was left. His dad wasn't around. His grandma had to bring him up. He was brought up on the wrong sides of the wrong streets in LA. All the odds were against him. He could have easily had given up, but no, he chose his situation in life to take good from it. Very easy. He could have said, oh, how terrible my life is. Why did it happen to me? My mum passed at a young age. Poor me. No support, no education, no. But instead he chose to find meaning from the tragedy in his life. And that's a really good example, because everything that happens in your life, there's always going to be two ways to look at it. Either I'm going to be not like I'm going to go down the wrong end, or I'm going to make good use out of what's happening. For example, let's say two brothers have been brought up by abusive parents who are always drunk, as an example, yes? One brother will say, oh, this is how I got brought up. He'll go drinking and he'll be like, this is how my parents are. This is how my life is. And he'll do exactly the same, be abusive and get drunk and be drunk. And one brother will say, I am never going to be like that. I'm going to use that as an example of the way not to be, and I'm going to be a lot better, and he's going to go out there and change his life. Another example, two people can be in a training seminar, and it's the same information, the same person during the session. One person will walk out saying, oh, I've heard that all before, nothing different. One person will walk out saying, wow, the testimonials, the people, the energy, the inspiration, I'm going to change my life. What's the difference? It's the same situation. So you just have to teach yourself to always think from whatever situation is happening, you're always going to be able to find some good out of it. But you just need to train your brain to think of what value can I get from this experience, rather than bring yourself down by it. Because we have the ability to change our lives. Sorry, Tizzy. Yes.
Finished.
Wow, well done. That is amazing. She's already finished her list of 50. That is really good, guys. You can all do it. I definitely did it, and it was the first time that I ever sat down and started doing goal setting. And think about what happened with Mark Hughes. You know, it was just his passion, his inspiration to change people's lives, that, you know, he had a chance to go to China and learn about herbs, brought the information back to America. He was actually a student in one of Jim Rohn, the world-renowned business philosopher, that has helped millions and millions and millions of people change their lives. And then he's obviously started working for Herbalife, changing millions of people, distributors' lives. And he was actually a student in one of Jim Rohn's classes. And Jim Rohn saw something special in him. He saw the determination, something unique in him. And they became really good friends. Incredible, incredible story. And Jim Rohn ended up working for Herbalife. He loved Herbalife. We'd go to Extravaganza and Jim Rohn would be there, you know, sharing with all his heart, or his knowledge and inspiration. people would be paying thousands of dollars to hear Jim Rohn speak and us Herbalife distributors just go to Extravaganza. We have photos with Jim Rohn and have dinner with Jim Rohn and get in, training by Jim Rohn. Absolutely incredible. So, believe in yourself. You can absolutely achieve everything that you want, especially in the next few slides. I'm going to show you how you're going to be able to break through some of those barriers that you think that you can't. And then, obviously put into, you've got to have to take action as well. So simply sitting here writing goals and then closing them, not looking at them ever again, or not even thinking about them, it's almost serves no use. I mean, there's a little bit of use, you're at least you're thinking about it, but you want to achieve these goals. These are things that you want, you've written them down. So you constantly want to be updating them and going back to them and looking at them and really feeling them and smelling them and touching it, and it's exciting. So, wherever you're at, make sure you've got your numbers to 50, and if you haven't done your 50 yet, continue when you go home.
You're a hard woman.
Now, am I a hard woman?
Yeah.
Wow! Thank you, Ian. That's a compliment. That means I'm strong, I'm hard, I've got good muscles. Now, with your list that you've got so far, you want to give each item the number 1 for a goal that you would like to achieve within 1 year, or the number 3 for the goal that you'd like to achieve within 3 years, or the number 5 for the goals that you want to achieve in 5 years, that you'd like to achieve in 5 years, or the number 10 for the goals that you think you'd like to achieve within 10 years or 10 years or more. So go back to every single one that you've got and put one of these numbers next to each one. So like if it's like I want to buy a house, then you put when would you like to, so is it within 1 year, 3 years, 5 years or 10 years? You put down the number.
3?
3 years within 3 years. So, this is a rough, when you think you would like to. So on the right hand side of the page.
5?
So next to each item each goal that you've set yourself, put next to it the number 1 if you would like to achieve it within 1 year, or the number 3 if you'd like to achieve it within 3 years, or the number 5 if you'd like to achieve it within 5 years, or the number 10 if you'd like to achieve it within 10 years, or more than 10 years. You just put number 10.
Number 10's the easiest for me.
Okay, it's okay. Just pop it down wherever it is for you. So again, not what you think is realistic, when you want to, when you think you would like to achieve it.
Can I write now? For 1 year.
So yeah.
Can I write now? Like I want it now? I don't want to
Yeah.
wait 1 year.
If it's like you want it within 3 months, you just put 1 year for now. Yeah, 1 year.
Or tomorrow.
Have you done initials?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now count up the number of 1 year goals you've got so far. Just count up the number 1s. How many have you got? count how many number 3 you've got. So how many have you got that you want to achieve within 3 years? Just count them, whatever you've got on your list for now. Count how many you've got for the 5-year goals, and count how many you've got for the 10-year goals. Just write it at the bottom there of your page. So how many 1-year goals have you got? How many 3-year goals have you got? How many 5-year goals? And how many 10-year goals? Okay. Michael, have you added all yours up? Okay. You don't read out your goals, but do you mind just sharing with everybody how many 1-year goals you've written down? How many 3, just the number? How many 1 years, 3 years, 5 years and 10 years?
Like 6 in the first year.
So 6 within the 1 year, yeah?
Yeah. And about 5 in 2 years.
What, 3 years you mean?
Yeah. Okay, I'm ready to.
Okay, yeah, so 3 within 3, yeah?
3, yeah.
So you've got 6 in 1 year, 5 in 3 years,
Yeah.
then?
And about 7 in 10 years.
Okay.
And I didn't count 5 yet, but 1, 2, 3. About 4 or
You're
5.
still counting for,
Yeah,
okay.
5, yeah.
So that's really good. So Michael's got some short-term goals, he's got some mid-term goals, and he's got some long-term goals. And that's really, 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 really important, so I'll explain in a moment. Betul, how many, do you mind just sharing how many 1-year goals you've got written there?
I don't have one that I can share. I got 17 1-year goals,
So 17 1-year goals,
18 3-year goals,
18 3-year goals, wow,
10 5-year goals,
10 5,
and 3 10-year goals.
3 10-year goals. Okay, that is amazing. Well done. It sounds like you've got 50 goals there already. Awesome. Well done, Betul. That is so good because just a couple of weeks or a week ago, you told me you just had your 20 goals. She'd written down 20 and now she's got 50. So well done. So with Betul, for example, she's got a lot of short-term goals, not so many long-term goals. Okay, so it's very important to have those long-term goals, because it's what keeps you going when you're achieving all these little goals along the way and you've achieved it, but you haven't said anything else long term. What's going to drive you to keep going? What's going to keep you excited to get up out of bed in the morning to go for that next goal? So it's very important you do have some short term, some mid-term and long-term goals. Very, very important. Okay? So if you haven't finished the exercise, you know the process that we're going through now. Write it down and you come back to it. Okay? Now, as I mentioned, when you reach your goals, you want to keep going, and that's why it's important that you're always setting goals. You're constantly growing, you're constantly changing. You know, the goals I set 10 years ago, is like 8 years ago, is different than the goals I'm setting now. As you grow, as you change, as you have more belief in yourself, in what you're doing with Herbalife, and more belief in the company, your goals are going to change. So it's very important that you keep setting goals. It's a bit like the people that went to the moon or to space. The most incredible thing, such a big goal to go there. And a lot of them came back and they were lost and a bit confused and depressed, and because they'd set such an amazing goal, they'd achieved them, and they didn't have anything else in place to go for after that. So they went into a lot of depression. So it's very important that you set yourself goals, but you constantly got to keep setting yourself goals. Even when you achieve something so amazing, or getting to the next level in your business, you've got to have that next goal set already when you want to go president's team, when you want to go millionaire team. You've got to have that next activity in place, what it is that you really want to achieve and go for.
What if you don't have, like if you, I can see from mine, I've got lots of 1 and 3 year goals.
Yeah.
What do you do if you find that, like, do you need to go back and say, what do I need to see in 5 years or 10 years, or?
You've just got to dream a bit bigger. So if you've got a lot of short-term goals, you're probably just not dreaming big enough goals, because the real big goals are probably going to be your long-term goals. So you're probably just not dreaming big enough. Remember to celebrate along the way. So every step of the way, when you do achieve small goals, big goals, celebrate. And if you've got a family, you've got children, celebrate with them. Make them part of the celebration so that they realise that the time away from their family or the sacrifices that you need to make, it's for them. Now, how you're really going to know whether your goals are really powerful is your 1 year goals that you've written down there. Write down this question, by the way, what's up here. Choose 4 of your most important 1 year goals. The most important to you that you really want to achieve within this next 1 year. This is important because then you're going to know where to allocate your time when you're say building your business. So when you know your top 4 most important goals that you want to achieve in this 1 year, you'll stop majoring in the minors. You'll know where to invest your time and where to really focus your time, because you know the most important thing to you within the year to achieve. So you want to really find out, the purpose of doing that is you want to find out what's turning you on, what's getting you up early in the morning, what's making you stay up that little bit later at night, what's driving you to come to one more meeting, talk to one more person in the street, give them one more invitation. So from the 1 year goal again, you choose your 4 most important goals to you. Again, just write down the question, the points of this. If you haven't written it down already, you can come back to it and do this process. Now, with these 4, has everyone selected their top 4 1 year goals? Or at least selected a couple? Asterisked a few? What's important with these top 4 1 year goals, to know whether they really are the most important to you, that they are going to be the ones that are going to drive you in the morning, getting up out of bed, excited to pick up the phone, talk to people, is write down a sentence or a little paragraph under every one of those. So choose your 4, write it out again, and write why are they important for you to achieve. So if you are able to write down why it is that you really want to achieve this goal within the 1 year, then you know that it's important to you. You know that it will inspire you. You know that a knockback from someone is not gonna shake your faith or belief in this goal that you want so much. Everyone following so far? It's going okay, yeah? Flowing for you guys? Good. You see, the reason why is actually stronger than the object. Your purpose is going to be stronger than the object. And and Jim Rohn says it all the time, when the why is clear, the how to becomes easy. And the major value in life is the person you become to achieve that goal.
Can you say that again, Molly?
The major value in life is the person that you become to have to achieve that goal.
It's written up there when you get
It is written. It's written up there.
Oh, blind. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's
There you go. It said, like Mark Hughes made his fortune, but the person he became along the way was just simply incredible. Not even describing, how. I mean, I never met Mark Hughes, but anybody who's come in contact with Mark Hughes is just mesmerized by, there's a special feeling that Mark Hughes, that when he spoke, he just spoke to you. There will be thousands in the room, but he was only speaking to you. When he was somewhere, he was really there. He really made every single person feel special.
We'll never get to meet him.
You know what? We're all mini Mark Hugheses. We're all here. We're, have the passion, the belief in the products, in Herbalife, in helping our customers, in helping our distributors. We are all mini Mark Hugheses of our own organisations.
So can I just get that last song?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And personal development, it is the thing that's going to make the biggest difference in your life, in your Herbalife life. The biggest difference. It's all about your attitude. It's what you're thinking about every day. It's what you're focusing on every day. And it doesn't happen overnight. Like, it's normal. People out there, like we heard in the presentation before, people are negative out there. People like to complain, are cynical. They're not encouraging. Yeah? So we need to be feeding our minds with personal development, with positive words, focusing on our goals, what it is that we want to achieve. Keep focusing on the right things to move yourself forward in life to achieve everything that you've ever dreamt of. So, look at that 10-year list. Look at those most important goals to you. And this is a very, very important question. What kind of person must I or must you become to achieve all that you want? This is a very important question. What kind of person must I become to achieve all that I want? For example, you say maybe you want to go global expansion team in the next 3 to 6 months. Maybe that's some people's goals. But yet, you come late to meetings, you don't dress for success. In the meeting, we're not paying attention, we're on Facebook or checking our emails. We're not telling we want to go to that next level, but we're not coming up the stage to share our testimony. These are just some examples I'm throwing. So think about the goals that you've written down. Think about who is it that you need to become to achieve these goals. Do you need to become stronger, healthier, wiser, more confident, more consistent? Do you need a bit of coaching, a bit of mentoring? And what must you become to attract the people that you want in your life or in your business?
Because they say too that what you are, you attract.
Of
So-
course, absolutely. What you put out there, you're going to attract back. The law of attraction. What you put out, you get back. What you think about, you're putting out there, it's going to come back. You attract what you think, what you are is what you're going to attract. So it comes back to what what is that person that I need to become? How does a president's team member behave? How does a president's team member dress? How is their attitude? You know, with no matter what's happening in the meeting or what's happening in their life out there. You know, some people have got, you know, incredible things happening in their lives that you would never pick it. Some of the most successful people. So you want to study those successful people. What is it that, you know, that they have, or how are they thinking? What are their characteristics? What are their values? And, you know, aspire to be like that. Now, as you go along, you may think, oh, you change your mind about a goal. You realise it's not that important to you. You can take it off the list. It's no problem. Because this list is going to continue. You're not going to stop at 50, by the way. You know, you can go on and on up to 100, and you just keep going. Some things you'll take off, some things you're going to put on. Some things you'll tick off because you've already achieved it. There's two words that Jim Rohn says. One is positive, he says, and one is negative. The positive one, he says, behold. So behold the possibility, the future. You know, give it design. Behold the next person that you might meet. You never know where that person will lead you, who they'll bring you to. You never know, that person could be your next president's team member. You never ever know. And then the negative word he also says is beware. He says beware of what you become in pursuit of what you want. So make sure you're acting in line with that, that person that you want to become to achieve these goals. And, you know, you want to hold up the ethics. You want to be feeling good about what it is that you're achieving. So, you know, just as an example, you know, like, you don't want to be moving up in the marketing plan by doing the dishonest thing, or discounting the products, or stealing customers and stealing distributors. I know nobody will do that. I'm just using that as an example. So Jim Rohn says the greatest source of unhappiness is being unhappy with yourself. So, you know, always make sure, am I in line with who I want to become? Am I in line with what it is that I've set myself? Is what I'm doing now heading me towards that direction of that goal, or heading me away from that direction of that goal?
Can you give an example of that?
For example, let's say you've set yourself a goal of wanting to go welting, okay? And you've set yourself a 90-day plan, and you know how many people you need to speak to every day, and what activities you're doing, and what time you're doing it, and who you're doing it with. You know, the flyer, you've got your set of words, you've got everything done, you're in action, you're bringing people to the meetings, you're running the meetings, you've got guests at the meetings, and then, you know, your friends start calling you, hey, you're working from home, hey, I'm popping around, I'm going to catch up for a coffee, or I'm going to catch up for a drink, or come over, we're going out. When you should be really talking to people, you know your planner, what your activities should be. And so you think, oh, I'll take a break, I've been really consistent for the last few weeks. One day's not going to hurt. Okay, maybe that one day is not going to hurt now, but you do that. Then you might go to your friends. Then that's when you need to ask yourself, is what I'm doing now taking me closer to my goal? And especially if that position is like within that 1 year goal, that short-term goal. Or is it taking me closer, or is it taking me away from that goal? And so the things that you do now, the result is not going to happen straight away. So whatever you're doing now, whether it's a positive thing towards that goal, if it's not a positive thing towards that goal, the results will show up a little bit later. So always remember, don't think that today, okay, I'll take a bit of a break, then a bit of a break today, a bit of a break tomorrow, maybe not so much of a result, not going to affect you now. A little bit more of a break the next day, a little bit more of a break, and a month later, you're completely off course. It's like an aeroplane when it takes off or it's in the air. It's up there, it's going, and just a small degree going the wrong way, just a small little bit of a turn. You're not going to notice the difference, but it can end up taking you completely to a different destination. just by like a 1 degree off course. 1 degree off course doesn't look like much now. I'm still on track. A year, 2 years down the track, you're totally off on the wrong track.
Oh, that was like Hector on Saturday. Remember when he said that the person who sponsored him left
Yeah.
and he tried all these other businesses?
Exactly.
And like you said about the next person you recruit.
You never know.
All that
Exactly.
money he missed out on.
Exactly, yes. Hector shared that his sponsor left and kept jumping to company to company to company and still wasn't successful. And had he just stayed in Herbalife and, just worked on himself a little bit more and the goals and what he wanted to achieve, he would have got rich.
It wasn't the
And
company,
Hector went
it
millionaire
was
team,
him.
lost millions, exactly. So, just to break it down a little bit more, just to make it a little bit more relevant for our marketing plan as well, to help you to know exactly where you need to be in our marketing plan, just write down in terms of income, what is your income goal in the next 30 days? Just write down a figure, not what you think is realistic, what it is that you want. What your income goal you would like in 90 days, 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, and 5 years from now. And then, next to that income bracket, the income that you've written down for each of these steps, next to each of those, put down what level in the marketing plan is that equivalent to. So for example, if you've said in the next, 6 months, you would like to be earning $10,000 a month. Yeah? Then within 6 months, that's the get team position. So you know what you're aiming for in the marketing plan in terms of income. Is everyone following? Yes? Okay. So go back and have a look at what you had in terms of income for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. And then 1 year, 3 years, and 5 years. Match it up with what level it is in the marketing plan, and that's what you're aiming for. Now these two last sections and some of your goals is very important to, I recommend that you share it with who it is that you're working with, your mentor, your sponsor, someone that can help keep you on track, help keep you accountable, remind you of your goals, keep you on track when you're, a little bit distracted with life. And that person will also help you to put an action plan and help you refine a little bit more how to get into these positions. What kind of a recruiting plan you need to have, how many people you need to be recruiting every month, how many supervisors you need in your 3 levels.
Active routine.
Again, continue to work on your goals, it's what's going to pull you, if you're very clear on what it is that you want, it's what's going to pull you towards that goal. It's what's going to drive you. It's going to keep you inspired. So really take this session really seriously and go back home, elaborate on your goals, start teaching it to some of your distributors. It's amazing what happens when you start teaching it to some of your distributors, setting goals, how it transforms their life. Like, really, never ever anyone, throughout all my education in school, anyone ever told me to, what do I want, write a goal, and when do I want to achieve it? Never before Herbalife. It's amazing. It's true, isn't it? It's so amazing. So, these are the things that is going to make the biggest difference in your lives. Now, Jim Rohn is the master. So, you know, if there's any personal development that you're gonna be doing, and you know really should be doing, is anything that you can get your hands on from Jim Rohn. So he's got a website, jimrohn.com. Just go there, subscribe to his newsletters. They're for free. You can buy audios, books, whatever you want online. Really get to understand what it is that Jim Rohn teaches, and really listen to it over and over and over and over again. Even when you've heard it 20 times, you listen to it again, you'll always pick up something new. It is really amazing. So jimrohn.com. Now I'm going to wrap it up here. Before I do so, I've got something very special to share with everybody. Yeah. So I'm about to play something that I actually shared with in the Why Herb Life Why Now when I was the guest speaker in Perth and Sydney. I shared this video with the supervisors, and whoever went to Macau, Baya also shared it with us in Macau, and now I'm going to share it with you guys. Okay, so I really want you to pay attention to this clip, and let it touch you, really feel it. And the best is yet to come for each and every single one of us. So we will get it going in a moment.
Very good.